Surprise, surprise. Because of the rest I was able to get, I'm giving you another episode today. And I am breaking down none other than season 1, episode 16 of the Twilight Zone, The Hitchhiker. We meet our main character on the side of the road where she's obviously blown out a tire. Her name is Nan Adams, and she is on a cross-country road trip from Manhattan to Los Angeles. And I couldn't help but think, you know Nan Ho, that been the place she been, who could spend the grand she spend. So the mechanic goes, how fast were you going? She says, about 65 miles an hour. He like, 65 miles an hour with a blown tire and these skid marks? You should have been calling a damn hearse. You got some angels with you, boo. And she like, tee-hee. Like, girl, slow down before you don't have non-cognitive abilities. And as she gets in the car to drive away, we see this man looking at her. And when he meets eyes with Nan, he gives her the hitchhiking symbol. And Nan does what a lot of people would have done. Drove the hell off, exactly. Now this next scene is shocking. And not because he managed to get to the mechanic shop before she did, but because she got a new tire and alignment and mechanic work done for $29.47 damn cents. You know what? I'm getting tired of it. Anyway, the mechanic is like, I checked your other 3 tires and you're good. And she's just staring off into the distance like this. So the mechanic is like, are you okay? She like, yeah, I'm okay. I just don't understand how that hitchhiker beat us here on foot. He's like, what hitchhiker? Girl, they turned that camera around. Ain't nobody there. Ain't nobody there. So the mechanic kind of looks at her and is like, well, have a safe trip. I'm about to go ahead and finish my egg salad. Y'all, she gets in the car and she pulls off. But not before he pop. Ross Serling, these jump scares. And everywhere Nan goes, he is right there. Regardless of how far she drives, he is beating her there. She pulls into a store, he walks out the door. So she pulls off. She's like, are you serious? This is ridiculous. But now she's on the turnpike. And she stops in to rest, get some coffee, relax for a little bit. And this is back in the day when you had to get you a map. Remember we used to get the maps from the rest stops? So she asked her server about hitchhikers. He's like, hitchhikers? Child, out here on the turnpike, you gotta either be crazy as hell or very musty. And nobody is picking anybody up under those conditions. He goes on to say, and imagine how long you gotta be in a car with somebody if you pick them up on the turnpike. No, ma'am, we don't get a lot of that out here. But again, she's being so weird that he's like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm just really tired of driving. And she gets back in the car and gets on the road. But after a couple of miles, she's stopped by this construction worker who says, ma'am, you're gonna have to stop for a second. We have construction up the street. So she's like, all right, well, I'll just get out the car because it's hot in here. Y'all, the man is standing right there. Now, how did he get all the way over there? So now she is just frozen in fear because she's like, I don't know what this man wants from me. And he asks her, are you heading west? Now remember, she's going to Los Angeles, California. So yes, as far west as you can get. But she's like, nope, I'm just going around the corner. And she just keeps babbling. And I'm like, honey, drive off. And eventually she does. She hauls ass around these cars and around the construction workers and is out of there. But of course, she is stopped when an oncoming train activates the railroad lights. And the train is just going so slow and her ass is already paranoid. But the fear is confirmed when she looks up and this man is standing right in front of her. So she's like, forget all this. I'm just gonna go through because the train is taking too long anyway. Her car stops. TikTok, please. So now the man just staring there looking at her like, so can I get in or not? And no matter how much she tries to start up this car, it's not happening. And the man is just staring there looking at her like the alone emoji. And now the train is just blowing his horn because it can see her, she can see it, but she can also see this hitchhiking man. So she's afraid to go forward, but she knows that she needs to. And just when she about to get hit, the car goes in reverse and the train misses her by a hair. Y'all, the way I would have gone to glory, regardless of if the train hit me or not, I'm dying. And what would have killed me is when I opened up my damn eyes and looked and this man was not there. Dead, I would have died. So now she's like, I think this man is trying to kill me. Now, mind you, she's in Virginia at this point, so I'm pretty sure you can find a store with some weapons somewhere around there. But what does she do instead? She leans over the steering wheel and sighs, baby, you don't get your ass up. She gets out of that situation, but it seems like no matter where she turns, this man is right there. So now her anxiety is just at an all-time high because she's like, this man is chasing me and he's trying to kill me. I need to get out of here. For some reason, her stupid ass decides to take the back roads in New Mexico. The back roads in baby, set the murder up for him, why don't you? And of course, upon her taking that road, her car runs out of gas. So now she has to get out and walk half a mile down the road to get some gas. So she finds the gas station, she runs up, she's like banging on the doors, and the owner is inside. He opens up his window, he like, what incarnation is going on out here? She like, look, sir, I ran out of gas. He like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Come back tomorrow morning. We close at 9. She's like, but this man is following me, and I really think that he's going to rob me. He's like, well, if he does rob you, tell me in the morning so I can call the sheriff. And he genuinely does not care. He closed that window so quick. And as she's crying, yet again, this hand grabs her from the back. And she thinks it's going to be the hitchhiker, but it's actually this man from the Navy. And he's like, are you okay? She tells him what's going on, and he's like, oh, I can get him up out of his bed. Lo and behold, the shit worked. And this low-key pissed me off because this happens in real life. Can y'all please listen to women? Anyway, he gasses up her car, and she finds out he's going to San Diego. So she's like, can you please ride with me? This really weird man has been following me. He's like, yeah, sure. And I don't know if it's just me, but this is when I actually got nervous because I said, is this going to be the man that actually kills her? Because maybe that hitchhiker was her guardian angel trying to stop her from picking up other people. Because he starts being weird and saying stuff like, the guys on the ship are never going to believe that I was on the side of the road and met such a pretty woman. And he's just staring at her the entire time. And I'm like, girl, kick him out and invite the hitchhiker in. Is it just me? The people who have seen this episode, did y'all also think that he was a troublemaker? Because I did. So she sees the hitchhiker again and she swerves towards him this time. And the other guy is like, what are you doing? She's like, you didn't see that man? He's like, no, what man are you talking about? Why are you swerving his car? And when she does it a second time, now he is so shaken up. He's like, maybe you should just let me drive. And she's like, no, I know you saw that man. I know you saw him. He's been following me the entire time. And this man looks at her and he's like, maybe you need to go to sleep. There's a motel about 2 miles down. Get you some sleep. And she's like, no, please. I swear I will take you to San Diego. And he's like, actually, you go ahead and drop me off right here. I'm good. It was good talking to you, player. She even tries to throw it at him. She like, I mean, if you stay, I thought we can be friends and maybe you can take me out. I know you've been on that ship a long time with men and here I am. He looks her up and down. He's like, I'm out this bitch. No, I'm good. She's literally begging this man to stay in the car. He's out. Now, audience, let's guess what she does in 3, 2, 1. She cries. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call discernment. This man was like, actually, I can walk to San Diego. So now she's back by herself. And she says, you know what? I'm going to stop at this little diner. I'm in Tucson. Maybe I just need to call my mama and ground myself by hearing her voice. So she dials into the operator and asks to be connected with her mom's address. So somebody picks up the phone and goes, this is the Adams resident. And she goes, Mom? And she's like, no, this is Mrs. Whitney. And she's like, Miss Whitney, who are you? And bitch, I leaned in because I said, who are you? So Nan goes, I don't know a Miss Whitney, but where's Miss Adams? And Miss Whitney goes, well, she's in the hospital and I'm here taking care of the house while she recovers from her nervous breakdown. And then it's like, nervous breakdown? There's nothing wrong with my mama. What's going on? And she's like, well, it was all so sudden. It's actually kind of sad. She had a nervous breakdown after her daughter died in a car accident 6 weeks ago. And you know, her mama just couldn't get over the grief. And so she had a nervous breakdown and now she's in the hospital. And Nan is sitting on that phone like, bitch, I'm her only daughter. What are you talking about? And slowly but surely, it starts to make sense to Nan. Remember when we met her on that road in Pennsylvania when she was getting her tire fixed? Yeah, when the mechanic said you should have been calling a hearse instead of a mechanic, he was right. She died. So Nan walks on back to her car because she understands who this hitchhiker is now. And in one of the most chilling conclusions we've ever seen, she turns down her rearview mirror and accepts her fate. And there's the hitchhiker. And he says, I believe you're going my way.
My way.
Ooh, Rod Serling, you dirty bitch. I was shook to my little 7-year-old core the first time I saw that. My God, today.